Oh, yeah. It's the sweet, sweet sounds of another episode of Social Distance Drinking Club. What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going all right. How you doing, Yusuf?
Great. It's so good to see you guys. Look at us. We're all in our normal places, not like two people are in a place with nice beer without me drinking it and rubbing it in my virtual face.
I've also upgraded my background for people that are watching. They can see I have some new art behind me, but you still look like you're in a North Korean prison camp.
Yes, because I am. That's where I am.
Can we just, for the record, though, get it out there from clearly you're talking about us drinking all these nice beers in front of your virtual self, but did you not get a couple of nice beers delivered to you from that?
You know what? You're right. I did.
That's something, right? Like it's an olive branch of sorts.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. No, and I'm glad you guys went and had fun, and it was a good time, and we had a great conversation with Bob Wielander from Bottle Logic, and he still communicates with us after that, which means we didn't scare him away. It's incredible, right?
Hey, welcome to the Social Distance Drinking Club. Please come back.
Please, yeah, welcome. Wait, where are you going? Membership's free. Seriously, membership's free. But the show isn't, so while I'm here and talking about it, hey, check it out, socialdistancedrinkclub.com. There's shirts and stuff. And it'll pay for this crazy thing I'm using to do the show.
I feel bad. We're a minute and a half in and we already started asking for money. That's a new record.
I'm not asking for money. If you don't want to give us money, just share the show. Post about it. Hashtag and shit. What do the cool kids call it these days?
Wait, Adam, was it a new record for quickest or the longest it took for us to ask for money? I'm not sure.
We're not here to talk about us. We're here to talk about you guys and delicious beers. But we'll get there. Tell us what you're drinking in the comments. Thank you guys for joining us. So good to be back in the saddle. Quite literally, this is just a shitty leather office chair, but it's my saddle, It's got my butt imprinted in it, and it's great. That's it. That's all I have to tell you. Adam Green, what are you drinking?
Little Renhouse, It's All Music for a nice Sunday IPA late. It's very pleasant, as I'm sure many of y'all have had this already. It's nice.
Good stuff. Brett Barry, what do you got?
I almost went for the It's All Music, but instead I chose from our friends at Tombstone, Brighter and Juicier #1.
Very nice. Good choice.
Ooh, that looks really juicy.
It looks bright, too.
Yeah.
Looks very bright. Very juicy. I got some Tabueno, short for Está Bueno, for those of you who don't speak the Espanol like I do. From 1912. It's really good. And it says caramel toffee Mexican amber ale. I've crushed this. I thought it was going to be a little heavy in the mouthfeel situation. No, easy.
And 1912, of course, is from the wonderful city of Tucson.
Yeah, I think they're in it's a suburb, right? Not called Tucson. I don't want to call it Tucson. Let's not do that. Well, you know what? Our guest shortly will be able to tell us exactly where 1912 is. He is the authority on whether or not it's actually in Tucson. And Rob Fulmer, I know you're backstage listening. Just don't say it's in Tucson. Call it something else.
He'll say it's just the midpoint between the two Tombstone breweries.
It's the midpoint between the two Tombstone breweries, yes. If you go that way, about halfway between here and the other Tombstone, you'll find it. There's good beer between here and there.
That's
It sounds about right. All right, well, guys, how you feeling? I hear you're both double inoculated now, right? Two doses.
Yeah, Brett's I think a week ahead of me. I got my second dose of the vaccine on Monday after volunteering at one of the distribution sites, and I'm fine. No superpowers that I know of.
Are you sure? 'Cause could be.
I feel like 5 days older, but that's probably not because of the vaccine. That's, life.
Fair enough. It's unfortunate getting old. Justin Richard, it was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Says he says Brighter and Juicier is one of the best Tombstone IPAs. Fight me. I'm not gonna fight you. I mean,
fight him for that. What are we fighting about?
There's no reason to fight. There's no argument here. I'm totally okay with that.
Justin got really angry at his older age.
He's a day older, but the number changed, and now he's old man Simpson. Like old man yells at IPA.
Old man yells at cloudy IPA.
Yes, instead of hazy IPA, old man yells at cloudy IPA. Perfect name, beer name. Tombstone. We'll let you know. We'll call Weenie. maybe that's a move. It's just got to be a picture of Matt, but like with tiny monocle-sized glasses on each eye, like, and maybe a bald cap. Because caricatures make beer labels funny.
As we'll find out soon.
We will. As a matter of fact, that's a great segue to bring in the director of the Craft Brewers Guild, not the president, because he was not elected by the people, but yet again, who has been recently. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Rob Fulmer. Rob, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Great.
This is cool because I can tell your camera is to the right of your screen.
No, I'm moving it now.
So I was gonna say, so it'll look like we're talking to Stevie Wonder the whole time. Like everybody's over here and we're having a good time. The beer's the mission.
Rob, don't.
How's this? Is it better? There you go.
He's really finicky about camera angles, and if he doesn't like yours, he will let you know about it about 45 minutes into the show.
Yes, 100%.
This is right off the bat, so
You're doing better.
Thanks for joining us, Rob.
thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It was a weird February. We didn't feel like it was the month of beer, right? It was stout month. We didn't talk stout month. It was craft beer week. It almost felt like craft beer week didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have the events, but I think beer was still made, by the way.
Yes. There were a lot of releases.
There were releases, and I mean, every day. Look, if people are in the game right now after about a year, I think we're going to make it, and that's good. And I don't think anything as a whole is going to be thrown at us like this again for a while. So it's all good. And by the way, I have been vaccinated twice, but I'm vaccinated with the experimental AstraZeneca, which may not even see the light of day in the United States. So I hope it does.
Do you know if you got the actual vaccine or a placebo, though?
I know based on the fact that I had all the classic symptoms of getting it as opposed to saline. And one of them was a low-grade fever that I had for 24 hours, which I would not have been able to tell you that I have a fever for, you know what I mean? It just so happens we have thermometers and PPE and all this other crap all over the house these days. So otherwise I'd spend 20 minutes looking for my batteries and where the hell is my thermometer, kind of thing. Sticking the meat thermometer in my mouth.
Please, nobody do that. That sounds terrible.
I am medium well right now.
Which end does this go in? No, that sounds terrible. Well, Rob, you guys have been working tirelessly to continue to keep things moving, not only for the local craft beer community, but as well as funding for the Craft Brewers Guild. But before we get into that, I want to give you a moment to talk a little bit about the Craft Brewers Guild, because a lot of times you'll always hear or see this question pop up on social media of what does the Craft Brewers Guild do? I love the joke of like, I think if you pay your dues, you get one of those neat plaques that's right over your left shoulder. So
it's true. That's about what all of those dues pay for. The rest is under our own steam, but through the generosity of our breweries, they allow us to do festivals with their donated beer. So classically we promote and protect the breweries within our state. Each state is different. Each state has its own laws. So things can't really be done nationally or regionally, and we don't have any. We don't have California with a bigger guild to really carry our water. We have to carry our own, and so typically we don't have that many large bills on the table, and we play a lot of defense. For example, this year, I hope we've vanquished one of the bad bills that was out there. It had good intentions. They wanted to have distributors and large breweries give $1,500 each of patio furniture and merchandise to help restaurants and bars, and that sounds great, but that really creates an uneven playing field. And we recommended that they give those to the governor's fund, and that way there's not a direct line between the salespeople at a very large distributor or brewery and the retailer. So without us, being involved, that very well could have happened and hurt a lot of our Arizona producers of beer, wine, and spirits.
But that is a pretty nice sign behind you. Like
the flat sign? Yeah. I actually did get that from a distributor.
So I suppose the mission is the same for the most part. The core for craft brewers guilds across the United States, the mission is the same, right? To make sure that there's an even playing field for everybody, that they're being properly represented in terms of laws being passed at the state level or at the national level, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, nationally we helped fight cutting our excise taxes in half, and now that's permanent. That was a 10-year effort, which I was a part of for 8 or so of those years. And it's individual policy things. It's working with the liquor department to make sure that they contact us first if they start to see a trend in trade practices, needing fixes or reminders to breweries, that this trade practice is important, and just to keep everything in line. We get that call first. We get everyone in line, and so it's a lot of that. And with this pandemic, it's been a lot of interpreting a lot of the policies, the CDC guidelines, the governor's directives, and interpreting it and making it easier for the breweries to comply or to figure out how they're going to remain open. And I would have to say, of most states, Arizona kept its breweries open for in-person consumption probably as long as any other state.
One thing I'm wondering too, you talk about going for policy and changing the laws and everything, and we established you're not the president, and I assume you're not a dictator either. Like, how do you decide, or how does it come to be like, okay, you push for certain policies? How does it, because obviously there's a lot of breweries out there, everybody has a voice, everybody has an opinion, but how does the Craft Brewers Guild, Arizona Craft Brewers Guild, come up with the policies that it's going to be promoting or pushing for?
Sure. So there's a board of directors that is elected, and they hire or renew my contract. So that answers one of the questions. But we do have a government affairs committee. We have people who are it's voluntary, and we work with them in the board of directors. And I would have to say that I don't get a direct vote, but I'm there to make sure that everyone's interests are met. And a lot of times I speak for the very small breweries, or the brewery that has a kind of a quirky business model and it's not like the others, or an area of the state that's not represented. Although recently we started to, in addition to electing members of the board, we've appointed where we saw a deficiency in those areas. If we're ignoring, if we were ignoring the taproom breweries, which was a new model 7 years ago, we would be completely unbalanced, and we would not have anticipated that is among the most successful business models right now. And it's the big center of our membership right now is taproom breweries. So it's all of that.
And there's a lot of voices, though, I'm sure, that probably come to you and say, hey, we want this, we want that. How do you balance that?
Well, I mean, to the extent that they are following along with all the things going on, it's our job to really get that message out. And I don't know. It's consensus building, and there's not one real trick to that, other than staying after it, getting parties to talk to each other within the guild and amongst other business models, other industry people, stakeholders, and making them aware of all the different motives that are going on. So if you don't do that, you do get some of these sort of left field ideas that that we do listen to and we do entertain. And sometimes we'll run a policy initiative and it's going to fail, but that's okay. As long as we speak to that issue and we take it seriously. So there have been policy initiatives that don't quite make it to the bill level, but we float those to the legislators. We explain to distributors and retailers and other parties what the intent of that is, and so it's really getting that feedback back to the brewery. That's like, hey, this sounds like a great idea, but here's what we're up against. And
I think a lot of people don't realize that the things like having growler fills available to us in Arizona were something that you guys helped make happen.
Yeah, and that's an excellent example because we did that, and we were opposed only by one group, and that was Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And they wanted to make sure that you could not sell a growler through a drive-through window. Now, I live right up the street from liquor stores where you can get a handle of Everclear through a drive-through window.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I want that bill to die? Because the greater good was to let it pass, and it only affected a few people. One of them, by the way, was Arizona Wilderness, who took over the Brewers Bagels. And I know this is a great example because I said, look, Jonathan, do you want a line of idling cars to be what people think of when they think Arizona Wilderness?
Right.
And he dropped it immediately. But that being said, this year we're bringing it back because it's and we're going to get it passed that you can do that because that's the safest way to sell a growler to somebody is through a drive-through window with COVID. I mean, so sometimes they just take time. Sometimes it just takes 8 years to get the idea through.
So a drive-through window can't be the craziest idea that has come across your table. What you don't have to name any names. What's one of the craziest ideas or thoughts that a member of the guild has brought forth and said, "Hey, we want to do this. Can you help us make it happen?"
Well, I don't know that they really would go to that level, but I guess for 10 or 15 minutes, there were people who would call me and say, I really think we should push back against these restrictions for COVID. We should be open. We should, and I just let them talk. And it's all, they just want to be heard sometimes. Yeah. And so that's the most recent example. And it wasn't something like, oh, great. We gotta fix his attitude, or we gotta, you know what I mean? Like you just.
I was really hoping you were going to say something like, there was a brewery that happened to be somewhere in Tucson that said they wanted to make shotgun cans legal, and it just crack it from the side, rip it. But
I don't think they're illegal though. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
What the hell are we doing? Someone trademark this right now. Hey, listen, Rob, shotgun cans. Okay, it's our thing, and it's a great way to raise money for the guild.
There's a shotgun koozie, right?
There's a shotgun koozie? Does it just? Yeah. Does it just?
It's got a thing where you put it in the koozie and then you just pop a button on the side and it punctures the can.
Well, I did find this lovely photo of Rob on the hill. So proof, ladies and gentlemen, that Rob has spent time in DC fighting for your.
That's Michael Marquez behind me from Mother Road.
Yusuf, can you put that picture back up? Rob, what were you doing in DC in the 1930s?
Well, if you look over my shoulder there, that's Elliot Ness. That's actually Michael Marquez from Mother Road. That's definitely my Robbie Lobby outfit.
Yeah, I love it. You guys decided to be hat guys that day?
I think I've been the hat guy longer than Michael, but he does have a look.
You know what I bet, though, is like you're fighting for policies and people would look and say, it's beer, who cares? But you're actually really fighting for businesses. You're fighting for people who are trying to make a living, obviously, through beer. But there's got to be some level of satisfaction when you can help these breweries out, help these businesses out in creating policies and allowing them to thrive, especially over the last year, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just a business in that there is cooperation in certain levels, which you don't see in a lot of different industries. And we're creating community places, third places where, this is kind of our new third place right now. I mean, like if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't be having beers and talking. It's the way I feel about breweries. And when I when I can make them successful, I feel like I'm making Arizona successful. So there is that sort of gratification. And what I like to tell people is there's no, the dry cleaning industry does not have a trade show and festival, and no one goes around and samples various dry cleaning methods. There's no Great American Dry Cleaning Festival. So it is something like that.
Wait, but GADF would be so much fun.
Yeah.
So you guys have been working tirelessly to do a ton of stuff, and also keep funding coming into the guild, and keep supporting also members of the guild. I want to touch on what you guys have dubbed and hashtag Rebuild the Guild. For anyone curious about it, you can look up the hashtag. I'm sure it's all over Twitter, probably Facebook and Instagram too. And go to chooseazbrews.com. So recently, there were two things that happened in February, at least that I can recall. Right, you guys had there was like a mini, very socially distanced festival. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, we had a Save Strong Beer Fest in the parking lot of Old Ellsworth. We had 60 people at a time in groups of 10. We encouraged people to buy in blocks of 10 tickets at a time, and we rotated them through different zones. Everybody had to wear a mask, when they weren't drinking, and then we also made sure that we poured from pitchers and nobody touched your glass. So you just set it down. It was filled with a pitcher.
Nice.
People loved it. And I would say by and large, they were pretty responsible about it, and they followed our rules, and they were just excited to be there. Our breweries liked it. So we're probably going to try to do it again, maybe in Marana in about 30 days. So
I found the poster for that festival, actually. So there was, or the event rather. I don't want to call it a festival because it really was more of an event, but done in a really responsible and fun way. Quite a few breweries participated. That's awesome. Some of our favorites. So you'll have to let us know about one in Marana, because I hear that's also not in Tucson.
Yeah, I mean, we're waiting to hear back from the town of Marana, and then we'll see what the date actually ends up being. But we had to file a ton of documents ahead of the last festival, and unfortunately, once you put that flight plan in place, it's hard to really adjust. So we learned a few things. We had 1 hour sessions. It probably could have been a little longer. We didn't build in a lot of time in between them. And so there was some, handoff issues, and people were saying that they liked it. They just wish they had a little bit more time. And apparently we gave them too many tickets, which I'm like, well, I mean, I'd rather give you, you don't have to drink all the beer, and you don't have to drink all the tickets. But
is it because you had a ton of leftover batches of ticket prints from Strong Beer?
No. I went and cleared out every paper ticket that we had, because you'd buy a partial box and you forget about it. We went through like literally 10 years worth of ticket rolls. I'm like, this one's green, but this one's a little faded green. This is a little bit more faded, but they're all green, so we'll use those tickets.
We'll use those. Those will work.
By the time they got through all the tickets, all of them were faded.
Yeah.
Everyone's faded. These faded tickets got me faded, bro. So for people who maybe want to support and help rebuild the guild and support local, but aren't going to, maybe they're trying to play it safe still, aren't going out to events like that, there's another way, and you guys are collaborating with a ton of your member breweries. There we go. Let's take a look at that can.
Yeah. And they're able to design it in the way that they feel. This is actually Dragoon, who wrote a recipe that a lot of breweries are using, although many are doing their own thing or changing out hops or doing a completely different style. So yeah, this is Dragoon.
You've got a Dragoon one and something else right now. There's more to come, right?
Oh yeah. So right now, Dragoon is out, Fate is out, but I think it's actually sold out. Historic Brewing Company did a Belgian IPA. These are IPAs, by the way, mostly. Huss did a New England style. That's out. 8-Bit Ale Works has a black IPA that's released. Lazy G has an IPA, which is really delicious. What else we got here? Desert Monks is out. I just got that can. It's called High Tide.
Ooh.
Yeah, they put their own little spin on it.
Oh, that's fun. That's got some fun artwork on it.
Yeah, Santan has it on draft. I had that over the weekend, and it's apparently everybody's favorite shift beer over there.
Nice.
BRI has it out. I don't have that can in front of me. Uncle Bear's, they decided to do a weekend where they donated $1 for each draft sold over the weekend. That was great.
It's awesome.
Crooked Tooth was released. It is a IPA with a little bit of vanilla, lactose, and mango. It's turning out to be my wife's favorite of the bunch.
Sounds good.
Simple Machine released on Friday too, and then I got a can here from Oso somewhere.
I've heard rumors this can has some very special artwork.
It's a coffee IPA, which is my favorite style. And I told them they should put their bike logo going up the mountain, and then they did this. They put sort of.
But that's shaved face, Rob. That could be anybody.
I know they didn't put my beard on. I think they want me to go back to my.
I don't know. I don't know.
Got the hat. It's got the hat, so they know it's Rob.
Yeah, it's definitely got the hat. We can put it up to a vote, right, and find out what people think. Should Rob Fulmer shave his beard?
I will for charity, and not the guild. I'll do it for our foundation. That's how we raised money for Mikkel Mason, who designs cans and who did this design. Mikkel Mason, about a year ago, we helped her with her cancer situation, and that was like the last event we did. So when the three of us, Ian Fredrickson, Nick Reyes, and myself, we just said, hey, we'll shave our beards off, and we thought we'd raise $100. I think we ended up raising like $1,500.
That's awesome.
Shaving our beards. So
excuse me.
If that's the last event you think you did, I know it's like COVID times. No one knows what's coming next, but have you guys even started thinking about the next, I'll say, normal-ish event and when that might be?
Yeah, I can say with pretty good confidence we're looking at Strong Beer 2022. Yeah. Because we for it to be a real event, it needs like a 6-month sales cycle. That event, we have to spend about $250,000 just to get everything set up. We don't have $250,000 right now, and so we need a little bit of time to ramp that up. We might be able to squeeze off a festival in the fall if I just read Nate Silver on Twitter, and he's saying April, May, things should be sort of back to normal because of the way that the vaccine is going.
Everyone's just crossed. I got my toes crossed. Like we're all over the.
So we might be able to do something, and everyone's like, "Hey, can it be Real Wild and Woody?" I'm like, that has a whole. The breweries need some time to ramp up for those kind of styles, so it won't be that. It'll be probably, I don't know, We're Back Baby Festival or something like that. I don't know, but
hey Rob,
hopefully, yeah. Otherwise, we'll have a couple of these socially distanced ones.
If they don't have enough lead time for those big beers for Real Wild and Woody, for a shorter lead time one, you could just do it Real Mild and Woody.
Yeah, well, I like the mild style myself, but I don't know that everyone's a big fan. I know Wilderness puts one on every once in a while. But
well, Rob, I want to ask a couple of fun questions before we let you go, and remind everybody. Don't forget the hashtag. It's Rebuild the Guild. You can go to chooseazbrews.com. There's a whole list of breweries there, I think, that are participating, if I'm not mistaken, that I looked at.
You can even go to rebuildtheguild.com, by the way.
Oh, well, hell, rebuildtheguild.com is even better. I'm going to go to it right now. But with that being said, a couple of fun questions that hopefully you have the answers to. First of all, when was the Craft Brewers Guild founded? Because I don't know that.
1998.
Okay.
The right to brew with the small batch brewing started 30 years ago. So it took a few years for the guild to start. It was run on with part-time and with a part-time employee. And when I was hired over 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago, I was the 13th full-time director in the country for breweries. So,
Which is a testament to how big our local craft beer community became in Arizona, for sure.
yeah, I mean, having a full-time person is very helpful, and they took a big risk because there wasn't a revenue model to support it at the time. So we had to figure we've been trying to survive for the whole time, honestly.
Do you happen to know what brewery was the first member of the guild?
I don't know the first member, but I do know that Andy Ingram from Four Peaks was on that board. I know. I think one of the first breweries in there was Real Salado, which is where Huss Brewing is right now.
Yep.
Tim Gossick. I think he was the treasurer. Boy, I think one of them, McFarland's was on it, McFarland's Brewing Company. I'm trying to. Dennis Arnold from Barrio was involved with that. I have to find. I found that document the other day. If I find it, I'll send it your way. You can post it.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have some of that information and be able to share with people as well.
I mean, but it was filled with breweries like that are no longer. I mean, Alcatraz Brewing Company. I remember that.
Where was Alcatraz Brewing Company?
It was in the mall in Tempe that I keep forgetting the name of, where the Lego thing is now.
Arizona Mills Mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty crazy.
I don't recall it, but I probably wasn't old enough to drink when it was open. So that might be the reason. Well, with that being said, gentlemen, I don't know if you have any other questions for Rob. Rob, I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate it. For everyone else that is watching right now, share it. It's rebuildtheguild.com. You can go to Choose AZ Brews to find the actual Craft Brewers Guild website and check out the hashtag as well to find all sorts of posts. I did find one more thing that I will share my screen for so everybody can see that as well. Here is some more of that info on the benefit beer right there. You can take a look. This is on rebuildtheguild.com, and you can check out all the breweries that are participating, as well as get some sweet merch. And that's a pretty sweet shirt, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and the hat. You can also, if you're a home brewer, there's a recipe. If you go to the Brewers button at the very top on the left, you can get to the recipe information and all that fun stuff. So it's that red button on the left. But
Arizona Breweries, click here. There you go.
Yeah, I should mention that Eric Green from Dragoon wrote the original recipe in conjunction with some of the guys at Oso and Mother Road. So,
there you go. I mean, that's more incentive right there. There's a recipe right there, and even a home brewer can use it. Bingo. Good stuff.
Everyone came together, during this time where it is obviously everyone wants to stay in business, but there is a craft beer community and the brewers themselves banding together for the betterment of Arizona craft beer. I think that's really cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all your time, and you guys have a excellent show. I wish I could.
Thank you.
I wish I could watch all of them. And work you guys have been doing with name escapes me, Bobby. I mean,
it's been that's definitely something that we'll probably touch on it here right after we wrap our conversation, but something that everybody has been taking a part in, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
I look forward to hopefully having a beer with you in person soon, and maybe we can figure out a time where we can go, you and I together, and sit down and have a beer and do one of these shows live from one of these breweries. It sounds like a great idea.
Right on.
Now
Appreciate
that we're all
Thank
being
you.
Inoculated. Take care. Rob Fulmer, everybody. Director and not elected president of the Craft Brewers Guild. Cheers. Take care. Well, that was a fun conversation. It was a good time. I learned a lot today. This felt like a class. So for those of you who have to go to school tomorrow, sorry. But this is the best class ever.
What's cool about him is he sees this all a little bit differently than the rest of us do. Like we go We see beer, we drink beer, we enjoy the beer. He's one of the people behind the scenes helping. I mean, he sees beer, drinks beer too, and enjoys it, but he's also making sure that beer keeps coming. And the unsung heroes, somewhat, he's one of them. And there's a lot of out there. But
I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is attempt to make this beer because I'm a shitty home brewer, and we all are because of the last time we attempted to make beer together. Just saying.
I'm going to sit quietly and not reflect the views of me and Adam Ledford here.
I'm just saying. I mean, that didn't go. That's a thing.
Did we ever ask Rob what he was drinking, or is he not allowed to say just because he doesn't want to give a?
You know what? I don't know if we did, and I assumed he was drinking that Dragoon one. I thought, but that might have been my fault. That might have been my fault. But hey, it is that time. It's about 35 minutes into the show. We've had a wonderful conversation, and I actually ended up sipping this because I didn't shut up the whole time, which is not what I'm supposed to do since it's a show. But with that being said, tell us what you're drinking in the comments, guys. And then I know, Brett, are you moving on to beer number 2?
I am indeed.
Oh man, that guy drinks.
If it's clear, is it still an IPA?
It's a West Coast IPA at that point.
Yeah, I have a No Shelter or Gimme Shelter from Dark Sky Brewing Company, where some of the money goes to the Arizona Humane Society.
Very nice. Very nice. Look at us. We're like so philanthropic today.
Jeez, when I buy beer, he just goes to the brewery or the bottle shop.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say, like, it's Sunday. Did we all go to church? And then I realized 2 out of 3 people on the screen definitely didn't go to church. 3 out of 3 people on the screen didn't go to church.
I'm just impressed that Brett's re-beering. Like it's Sunday night. It's a school night for me. I'm just doing the one. Like I did drink a lot the other 2 days in the weekend though. So.
And by the way, Rob has confirmed it was the Dragoon Rebuild the Guild. So there you go. Mr. Bob Vreeland, look at who's watching the show, everybody. It's Bob. It's Bottlelogic Bob. I was like, I'm gonna make that a hashtag. I want to start having him on the show more often. Hashtag Bottlelogic Bob is drinking a Tombstone Light and reminiscing over the good times he had during Arizona Beer Week. He says, "You desert folk sure know how to make an outsider feel welcome." Cheers, boys. Well, cheers to you, Bob Freeland.
Cheers.
We won't be mad if a package accidentally shows up at our doorsteps with delicious beer. I want to go out there, man. I'm a little jealous of the missing link here because someone decided to take a socially distanced outdoor trek to beer heaven, and that someone is other Adam.
Yeah, it seems like he's had a good time, though.
If he can remember it.
He's been texting us when he's been drunk, and we're like, "Hey, remember that time?"
I think it was great to get we'd get pictures of flights of beers, and then the next morning he'd probably had to go back and look at everything to remember what he drank. He wasn't communicating with us so that he could connect with us. He was creating a log to go back to.
We'd get pictures of his flights of beers and then radio silence for the next 6 hours.
100%. That's exactly what happened.
And then a shit-eating grin of a really drunk Adam Ledford holding a little thing from little barrel from Green Cheek.
I have that photo and I forgot to pull it in here, so let me grab that now because I think it's something that everyone should see. Also, he's outside of a Denny's in this photo, so I don't know if anyone really dissected it the same way I did, but there's a lot going on here. I mean, he's in like a fishing vest, wearing a hat that says bear hug. And he's holding a little tiny, like, itty-bitty keg. You know, like, what do they call those? They're not pony kegs. They're like baby kegs.
It's like a little cask kind of guy.
Yeah, like a little cask thing, and it's got the Green Cheek logo, which, why is it in the background? I don't need that. That was on me. That was a Yusuf mistake. Solid one, though. Worth it. Totally worth it. 100% worth it. I'm moving with the speed of okay, screw you, Adam. Never put up the mac and cheese photo ever again. I hate you. There it is. There's a Denny's in the background. It almost looks like that tent was set up for COVID testing as well. And I'm pretty sure he's wearing like I don't know if it's a windbreaker and he's got a Camelback on. I hope he's got a Camelback on with how many flights he had.
That is not the face of a sober man, though. We know that.
What do you mean? Look at how blue those eyes are. He's totally fine.
Look all those rosy cheeks. He must be wearing some rouge.
No, he's been powdered up for the photo shoot that he took outside of the Denny's. Hey, it's California. People have to look like models everywhere. You never know when you're going to get your next acting gig. Denny's wants a commercial? Call Adam. Adam Ledford. There he is.
The Denny's green sheet collab that's going to happen is going to be because of that photo.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Maple Grand Slam breakfast stout. It's gonna be killer.
The better thing is going to be the IPA, the Moons Over My Hazy.
You think they still have the $4, $5, $6 menu for late night drunk munchies? As long as we can get a lager called Denny's Drunchies, I'm set. That's it.
Our friend Chris Burns Macbeth drinking aged bourbon with fresh squeezed lemon and simple syrup.
What else could you? That's basically a cold toddy. Just heat it up there. A little bit of water. You'll be like, it's Scottish penicillin as opposed to Jewish penicillin, which is penicillin. And matzo ball soup, yes, but also penicillin. So
mostly matzo ball soup.
I know, but wasn't the guy who actually discovered penicillin Jewish?
Probably, I don't know.
Adam, breakthrough in medicine? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's either your people's or my people's, man. It's one of the two.
You know whose people's is it in?
That guy.
His peoples are useless.
What do you mean? What do you mean by people's?
Well, I mean, you're not Italian because we all know Fauci is an Italian last name, and that guy's useful. So. You understand how this works, right? The Arabs with the numbers and the math and the science and, advances in technology for the Jews. And then there was the Italians. That's it. We just skipped everyone else. There's just the Italians, with the advances in extortion and, well, that's how it started in New York, isn't it? Sorry, I've been watching this documentary on Netflix. It's really good.
I've been watching Yellowstone and WandaVision. WandaVision is great.
Don't ruin WandaVision for me. I'm finally on Disney Plus. I did it. I tried so hard not to, but I'm on Disney Plus.
Why did you try so hard not to?
Because why would I?
Because the Mandalorian, all the Marvel stuff. Mermaid.
I acquired the Mandalorian from friends.
You also could have acquired Disney Plus logins from friends, but
That's actually what I did.
Oh.
Yeah. It's Adam Green's login. Kick him off Disney Plus. He's sharing it.
I'm not sharing it with you.
Eyes dart around the screen.
Though I did not lie.
I didn't lie. I looked to the right. Up and to the right. Chris says when you shake it hard, the lemon froth produces a nice creaminess. Why does this sound like I'm reading porn? It's like a bourbon lemon cream.
Oh my God. Why do you need penis lemon froth?
When you shake it hard, the lemon froth produces a nice creaminess. At least 3% of the people listening to the show, so one. Right now, it just went,
Adam's bubby is like, oh, this show took a turn.
Hey, she's everyone's bubby now.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I get to see her at the wedding?
Yes, she cannot wait.
Do I have to elbow hug her? I can't wait to hug Bubby. I want to give her a hug, but COVID. So I got to elbow.
Virtual
bump.
hug from across.
I got an elbow bump, right?
Yusuf's trying to throw elbows. Yusuf's trying to throw bows at your bubby, Adam.
I'm trying to throw elbows, man.
Oh, Bubby will knock your ass out.
Oh, I believe it. Listen. That seems like that's an accurate statement. Still our number one fan, Adam Green's grandma, aka Bubby. Is it Bubby or Bubby? Have we decided how we're actually supposed to say it? I've heard both.
Wait, what? You never heard two from me?
No. I mean, in general, over the course of the years that I have heard that. It's Bubby for you. I've heard Bubby. I've heard Bubbala.
Depends depends on your accent, but it's just Bubby.
Huh. All right. I'm just asking. Why are you making faces at me? That's rude.
The people who are listening can't see my faces. It's fine. Don't.
I know. That's why I'm talking about it.
Wall.
It's also why we're really looking forward to the much higher ratings on the podcast version because they can't see your face.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's exactly it.
I'll accept that.
It was a shame you didn't do the whole show with a mask on last week.
This viewership would have skyrocketed. Yeah, well.
COVID-19 making everyone slightly prettier since 2020.
Oh, Chris wants to know where.
Chris wants to know where you're watching Yellowstone.
I was learned Paramount was doing. They do like these Yellowstone marathons on weekends, so I just set the Sling to record them. So that's how. It's that simple.
I think there's been some type of advertisement for something that is Paramount Plus a few times in the last.
Let's not bring them up. They already sent me a DMCA complaint. Huh?
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. What are you sitting here expecting me to? What is this? A deposition? Go get yourself.
Everything's a deposition if you try hard enough.
That's true. It is. Speaking of which, where were you on the night of the 14th? Answer correctly. Your future wife is listening, and that's Valentine's Day.
I was getting my second dose.
Yeah, awesome.
That was where I spent most nights over the last year. Home.
Sam Fraser with the answer to our question about penicillin. A Scottish dude, I believe in Scotland they're known as a brew, by the name of Alexander Fleming holds the title for the drug. So there you go. Thank you, Mr. Fraser, as always, for watching the show and coming in clutch with information that I probably should have Googled.
When we don't know a thing, he usually does. It's nice.
It's true. It's true. Rob brought up the fact that we've all been obviously involved in the fundraising efforts for our dearly departed friend, Mr. Bobby Kramer. And for those of you who remember seeing him on the show, he was our resident cocktail correspondent. And many times from beginning to end at this point to now for our show, he has been on at the start of the pandemic. We were doing different cocktail demos, and we did Eat for a Week. It was thanks to him and his creativity that we were able to collaborate and do things like Eat for a Week with Chef Stephen Jones and Tamara Stanger, and with Chef Sambat, formerly of the Brickyard. He has unfortunately passed and was hit by a wrong way driver a little over 2 weeks ago now. So there have been tons of fundraising efforts. The community has, it's incredible. I mean, it's overwhelming for me and for everyone. And I'm sorry if I get a little bit emotional about it, but I do want to put the link in the comments for another fundraiser that was started, but also there are a couple things going on this week that I want to bring up. Tomorrow at Highball Phoenix, if you can find a reservation, Jordan Chandler and Henry Whitaker from the Brickyard, very close friends of mine and very close friends of Bobby's, and part of the Brickyard and Hidden House family over there, are doing an industry evening at Highball Phoenix on 7th. If you can make it and you can find a reservation, or even try to walk in and get lucky and get a seat, because they're filling up fast. They are making some donations there from the proceeds and tips, etc. And then I'm going to pull up a link here for what is being called Bobby's Block Party. This is taking place across the city on March 4th. So likely on Wednesday, hopefully we'll talk a little bit more about this and get you some more details. But in the meantime, let me share my screen, get some more info up on the screen about Bobby's Block Party. It's going to be another beautiful celebration of life, but also supporting his family. He left behind a 2-year-old son, Arthur, and his wife, Lindsay. So the tickets here are not necessarily tickets that you have to buy to attend and be a part of this event, this is a direct donation to the family at $25. Outside of that, there is all sorts of stuff going on. So right here it says 100% of the ticket price will be donated to the family. The funds go to, obviously, Lindsay and Arthur. But you've got all sorts of people participating, and here's the fun part. You can visit all these places. They're going to have different specials, things going on. Sleepy Whale, Peixoto, Hidden House, The Brickyard, Mingle and Graze, Get Yo Taco, Murphy's, Crust, Pedal House. Essentially, the entirety of downtown Chandler has chosen to take a part in this. But then you've also got, State 48, Cider Core in Mesa, Crepe Bar in Tempe, Wilderness is actually brewing a beer, and hopefully we'll get to talk to them about that a little bit. Texas Roadhouse in Glendale, of all places, right? Bubba's 33 in Glendale, and of course our beloved Home Away from Home dive bar, Mr. Brandon Casey's Woodshed in Tempe. And there's even more than that coming up. Casey's Woodshed is doing another event with food and drinks there. There's all sorts of stuff going on. But just what the community has done to remember Bobby and also help out his family is beautiful. And with that being said, a toast to our dear friend, Bobby Kramer. Rest in power. May there be a shaker with your name on it, waiting.
Cheers, man.
With that being said, I'm going to drop this link in the comments. I'm going to be all over downtown Chandler on March 4th. Come find me. I've got masks to throw around and give to people, and I'm just giving them away. Take them. They're all yours. If you want to make a donation directly to this fund, either by buying tickets or going to the fundraiser that we've already shared on our page, and I'll share the new fundraiser as well on our page right after the show. But I'll be there tossing around some masks, hopping around from place to place. You'll see us on Instagram Live, hopefully at a few of those several locations that have been listed. A few of those I'll go live from, and that should be a really good time. So that's coming up on Thursday, and there's a good chance I'll probably be at Highball tomorrow if I get my work done in time. But it's a Monday, and it's on 7th, so it's technically closer to Brett Barry's house. So Brett, if I can't go, I need you to take my reservation.
Some people sacrifice in different ways.
I need you to go drink, okay? I'll Venmo you the money. Go drink. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could do that on a Monday. Well, with that being said, guys, I think this is a great Sunday episode to come back to. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing a beverage with all of you watching, all of you listening, and with you, my friends. Adam Ledford, come back soon. We need wit. These guys miss it. I'm kidding. Brett Barry's actually pretty much like, he's our American John Cleese. It's just, you don't have the accent, but the British dry humor is there. It's on point. It's really good.
It's a very dry wit.
It's a very dry wit. Don't forget to follow us. We're at Social Distance Drink Club on Instagram because the guys who took the handle Social Distance Drinking Club won't give it to me, and they're not using it.
Squatters.
I know. They're total squatters. They made stickers. Lame. They used the Antisocial Social Club logo. Lame. I'm calling you guys out, man. I asked nicely. I even offered to pay. And I don't offer
shirt money.
Huh?
Those were our shirt proceeds you offered to pay them.
No, that was before we even had shirts.
Oh.
I offered to pay way before we had shirts. I was a nice guy. This is back when I had COVID nest egg money.
Early COVID, Yusuf was a lot nicer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like middle of shutdown, lockdown, Yusuf was just like out to give people hugs, but virtual hugs, of course.
Well, early lockdown, Yusuf had his friends, the mops, dressed up as his friends around his kitchen table.
Oh,
are they still set up?
No, thankfully not. My cat has learned to speak, or I'm going insane. Yeah,
both.
Direct possibility. I mean, I made like a clicking sound earlier. I was like, when I was tasting something, and my cat went, I just looked around. He's like, what was that?
I really wanted Zizou's head to pop in and just say, yeah, that bitch is crazy.
Oh.
Go off screen.
And yes, Chris Burns Macbeth says, at least you have socialdistancedrinkingclub.com. Thank you, Chris. He did what Chris Macbeth does, and he snagged that URL up, probably to scare me initially, but he was nice enough to call me, I hope immediately, to tell me, hey, I got you this. So thank you. It was a very sweet COVID gift and a kind gesture. And that whole website's getting rehauled, hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. With that being said, don't forget, support the show. Go to socialdistancedrinkingclub.com. Get some merch. There's stickers and all sorts of stuff. And stay tuned for, updates and more information and things as we get back to what we are hoping to call our new normal, because we know it's not going to be exactly the same. It definitely won't be.
We're getting closer, though. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And when things do get better, even our show will evolve with it. And that's
And by the way, you bring up a great point that I will close on. People have been asking, well, when this whole thing is over, are you going to change the name of the show? No! Why would we do that? That's crazy. That's crazy. The only thing that'll change is that compass in the center of our logo with a beer in the middle of it will point us towards the next place where we will finally all be able to go to together and allow you guys to connect virtually from anywhere in the world with us as we enjoy a beverage, a meal, and a conversation at any number of places throughout the entire world. So, fingers crossed, stay tuned. Don't forget to wash your hands and wear a mask. And just wear a mask and wash your damn hands, guys.
I thought you were going to change the name to Social Distance Drink Club and be like, screw you, squatters. You're not going to us.
Maybe I'll find out if they want to buy the website. Thanks again for joining us, everybody. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.
We miss